Hi everyone, Chris here in Auckland, New Zealand. This is Waiheke Island and I am testing out the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra versus the OPPO Find X7 Ultra and the Vivo X100 Pro. So front-facing cameras. Right now we've got 4K with the Samsung, 4K with the OPPO and only 1080p with our Vivo. And stabilization across all three is looking pretty steady. Good audio sources, I'm swapping over those so we can hear which one has the best microphones. This is zoom video now, so 4.3 times with the Vivo X100 Pro, and I'll take the zoom up now to 6 times with the Find X7 Ultra. So this is now our 6 times zoom. You can see that transition. And this is 5 times with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And I'll bring them all up now to 10 times zoom. So 10 times with the S24 Ultra and 10 times here with the Find X7 Ultra. That is now 10 times. And 10 times maximum digital zoom here with the Vivo X100 Pro. Main camera is 4K 30 frames per second using optical and electronic image stabilization. It's a beautiful coast here. No huge apartment buildings, not in this area of the world. Tide is going out. And a bit of a jog now, which is the steadiest. And now a sprint. Looks good across all three of them. Ultra wide video now. Still 4K 30 frames per second. Just walking down those stairs. Stabilization is electronic now for all three of them. And I just pan around slowly to my right. Stunning views here. So in the distance we do have Coromandel, but it's a little hard to see from here. And using those ultra wide cameras, we're of course not zoomed in, we're just getting a very wide field of view here to fit everything in the shot. Low light video now with our main cameras, 4K 30 frames per second. We should have the best stability here. 4K 60 sometimes isn't quite as stable, especially in low light. I think 30 frames per second is better suited. So as I pan around, we should not see any drop frames. What about noise? Are we seeing a lot of noise when I look at the sky here? That can often happen. It is very dark at the moment, but it does look a lot brighter on the screens here of all three of these phones. It's just after 11 PM, so it's late. And stabilization, which one is the steadiest? Less tremor, less of those jolts when I walk along here. Looking at the three screens of these phones, I can see that one of them does look a bit brighter, not as muddy and washed out. Over to still shots now. So you can see with portrait selfies that the Vivo has a wider field of view. It's got a bit of skin smoothing for some reason, even though I turned that off. So I do like the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I think it takes the best selfie portrait photos. The same applies to rear selfies. The Samsung has the better looking skin tones. Background blur looks the best. The OPPO's are a little overexposed, and the Vivo, I just find the eyes are a little bit too dark, a bit too much contrast with the portrait shots. Then macro shots. I feel that the Samsung here was completely outclassed by both the Find X7 Ultra and the X100 Pro. They use their zoom cameras for macro shots, and that Zeiss lens with the Zeiss white balance, the colors on the Vivo I think are more accurate here. Background blur does look the best, and it really looks almost like I didn't take this photo with a mobile phone, but maybe some sort of DSLR. This is our main camera now with all three of them. So there is a difference in the colors, the white balance, color science here. You can see that the OPPO I find to be slightly overexposed. The white balance is off. Samsung slightly oversaturated, but good for social media kind of photos. And then the Vivo. This is the most color accurate that I've found normally across the board. It would always have the best colors, more true to life. Certainly the case here. Now, all three do have very good zoom cameras. This is at 10 times, all three of them, and they're good shots. And now I've cropped in here. This is a 200% crop now. You can see that there is a bit of a difference. I think it's the Vivo that looks slightly sharper than the S24 Ultra and our OPPO, with just a little bit less noise here in this shot. And the further you start to zoom in, this is now 30 times. You can see that the OPPO has a bit of noise to it. Even though it has the best optical zoom level of 6 times its periscopic camera, I found that the Vivo has the best with the least amount of zoom. That's 4.3 times, is bettering the other two phones. Back to our rear cameras. So we've got two 50 megapixel 1-inch type sensors versus the 200 megapixel with our Samsung. The Samsung shot is very good. The OPPO's a little oversaturated. The Samsung's colors are good, but not quite as accurate as our Vivo. This has the more accurate colors, and I do prefer that shot. But all three of them are almost identical. Very good shots. Ultra-wide photo now. So this is where our megapixel advantage does come into play. The Samsung just lost a bit of the details in the sea with the waves. You can't really see those ripples in the water. But with the Find X7 Ultra, you can, and with the Vivo. And of these shots here with the ultra-wide, I believe that the Find X7 has the best ultra-wide camera. Last zoom test here. So this is the 5 times zoom across all three, taken up now to 10 times zoom. All of them are looking good, but the OPPO's oversaturated. And then zoomed right in now to a 20% zoom. You can see it's the Vivo that pulls ahead slightly, and again, it does have the more true-to-life colors. So for zoom cameras, I think it goes to the Vivo. Then our low-light photos. Here, the Samsung has just overexposed the moon. The best shot, I think, is the OPPO, but when you look at the grass, it is the darkest, so the Vivo got the better shot here. Now this one, it's between, I think, the OPPO and the Vivo. The Vivo is the brighter of the shot. White balance looks the best there, but I do like the OPPO's photo. And with this one, they all look similar, but notice that the skies are looking a bit purple with our Samsung. The white balance again is best with the Vivo, and when you zoom in, it does capture a lot of details. So I think overall, the Vivo has the best low light photography so far that I've seen for 2024. So here are my findings. I did find that the best zoom video, due to its stability and just looking a little bit sharper and clearer, was the Samsung S24 Ultra. The main camera, best stability with electronic image stabilization and optical, went to our OPPO Find X7 Ultra. It also had good audio. I would rate the audio and video as being the second best, but I noticed that the wind filtering with the Samsung was slightly better. Front-facing vlog footage, that again went to the Samsung. I thought it was slightly better. The skin tones, textures, details, although the Find X7 wasn't bad. And then low light photography, I think that went to the Vivo X100 Pro. The zoom photos were also slightly more detailed, sharper. Nighttime photos as well, they also went to the Vivo. And then the white balance was more true to life. The colors just a bit better with our Vivo X100 Pro. So thank you so much for watching this camera comparison. To find out which one of these zoom powerhouses was the best, do subscribe for more up-and-coming camera comparisons, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye for now.